The door clicked shut behind him, but the silence that followed was louder than any crowd cheering. It was a sound he had heard all his life, quiet disbelief, the echo of doubt. In a packed gym, lights buzzing overhead, a scoreboard on the wall marked the final results. His name was last again, not even close to the ones in bold that lined the top. Silence, not a cheer, not a pity clap, just the hum of fluorescent lights and a few whispered smirks behind him. They called this the moment of truth, but no one expected it to be his. He looked at the numbers, at the red digits blinking an insult under his name, and stood still for a long moment. Every eye in the room was waiting for something: frustration, defeat, tears, excuses, anything human, but none of it came. Instead, there was only stillness, and something much quieter, much more dangerous. They didn't know it yet, but this very moment was the beginning of an invisible rise, a silent storm that would change every idea they ever had about him. The athlete no one believed in. Ever since he was a kid, the world had a label ready for him: slow, awkward, not built for winning. He wasn't the tallest or the fastest. He didn't have the genetics people grew up idolizing. He had something else, something people rarely see until it's too late: an unshakable belief in effort. He grew up in a small town, the kind of place where gymnasiums echo with dreams, and teenagers with big ambitions are either celebrated or forgotten. He was definitely the latter. People noticed the other kids, the ones who ran like wind and jumped like rockets. He was just there. School sports were always a challenge. Teachers encouraged him gently, classmates teased relentlessly, but he stayed, always stayed. They didn't call it grit back then, they just assumed he wouldn't quit. But he didn't know he had grit, he just knew one truth: if I practice more than everyone else, I might outwork the ones who are faster than me. That thought was dangerous, not because it was unique, but because he acted on it every single day. Betrayal in the locker room. He thought he was part of a team once, until he realized some teammates only stood with him when it was convenient. During his last year of athletics in college, something happened that broke more than his confidence. It broke his perception of trust. Everyone expected him to be the reliable backup. He showed up early, stayed late, practiced drills that no one cared about. He even bought extra equipment when the team was short on funds. They never thanked him. Then one day during qualifying season, when his fastest sprint times proved he could compete, the coach made a decision that changed everything. He picked another runner, a friend of the coach's son, over him, despite his better times and consistent improvement. He didn't just lose a chance to compete. He lost faith in the system he had trusted. Later, he overheard two teammates laughing about how he would never make it, how they knew all along he was just talk. That day he went home without speaking. He didn't argue. He didn't cry. He only packed his bag and left. Pain requires effort. Pain doesn't announce itself, it doesn't send invitations. It shows up uninvited, knocks at your door, and waits until you acknowledge it. For him, that pain was injustice and unrealized potential. Not physical pain, not yet. It was the quiet burn in his chest every time he replayed that betrayal in his head. Instead of quitting, he did something strange. He began training differently. Not harder, not easier. Just smarter. He hired a coach privately, someone who didn't care about politics or popularity, just results. He studied biomechanics, sprint technique, and muscle recovery. He analyzed every detail of his performance from angles most runners ignored. He woke up at 4:30 a.m. to train before work. He practiced sprints when others were at dinner. He ice-bathed his muscles when others watched TV. He learned to visualize every stride before it even happened. Every day was incremental improvement. Plus 0.002 seconds here. Plus 0.001 seconds there. Little things nobody noticed. But he did. And slowly, he evolved from a runner who tried hard into one who studied hard. Effort without change is insanity. But effort with strategy, that's evolution. The return nobody expected. 2 years after that betrayal, there was a regional championship, the same event where he was once overlooked. He registered quietly. He didn't talk about it on social media. He didn't ask for attention. He just showed up. Warm-ups went unnoticed. The competitors glanced at him like he was still that same runner, the one they dismissed. But when the starting gun fired, something clicked. Every stride felt powerful, controlled, precise. It was as if every disappointed laugh he ever heard had been recorded inside his muscles, literally teaching them how to work harder. He didn't just qualify. He set a personal record so large that other runners' phones buzzed with notifications comparing times. The crowd murmured. The coach who betrayed him stood in disbelief. And then came the twist, the moment that changed everything. The twist they didn't see coming. When he crossed the finish line, he didn't look at the board. He looked at the crowd. Not for applause. Not for validation. He stood tall, breath deep, and waited. Then the announcer said something unexpected. For the first time in history, this record stands unbeaten. Not because it was unbeatable, but because no one thought to train like he did. Record books don't care about talent. They only recognize results. Then the commentator added, "This athlete, unknown to most who watch today, has not just won," he rewrote the standard. They laughed at him once, denied him once, ignored him once, and now they were witnessing something rare. Quiet effort turning into unstoppable power. Later, at the awards ceremony, the coach who once betrayed him approached, a look of regret, respect, and disbelief in his eyes. But he didn't speak. He didn't lecture. He simply accepted the medal and walked away. Not with arrogance, not with bitterness, but with calm assurance that he never needed anyone's approval to become great. What really changed? So what was the real difference between him and the others? Was it speed? Was it genetics? Was it talent? No. It was strategy plus consistency plus belief without validation. Most people train for applause. Most people train for attention. Most people train hoping someone will say, "You deserve this." He trained with one question in mind. What would I do if no one ever believed in me? That question made him dangerous. Not loud. Not angry. Just unstoppable. Lessons for anyone watching. Pain doesn't go away. Betrayal doesn't disappear. Failures don't vanish with time. But here is what happens if you do this. You train while others rest. You learn while others complain. You prepare while others perform. You improve while others wait. Most people wait for recognition. But recognition always comes after results, never before them. Greatness is never visible in the moment. It is only visible after consistency has built it. Silence becomes strength. He didn't hate the people who ignored him. He didn't chase them. He didn't call them back. He simply grew while they talked. He didn't need sympathy. He didn't need support. He just needed discipline. Because progress doesn't happen with loud announcements. It happens quietly behind the scenes. And then one day, not with noise but with undeniable achievement, the world had no choice but to notice. The real victory. The real win wasn't the record. The real win wasn't the medal. The real win was, he became the person who believed in himself when no one else did. All those mornings waking up alone. All those workouts they never saw. All that effort nobody appreciated. It wasn't wasted. It was building him. A hidden process that visible results eventually revealed. That is the power of silent effort. The truth everyone must learn. If you're grinding in silence, good. If you're training while others doubt you, stronger still. If you stare at your own reflection and see only work, not applause, you are already winning. Quiet effort creates dangerous results. Because in the end, people don't remember what you said. They remember what you became. If you're grinding today with no applause, if no one understands your effort, remember this. It's not about who notices now. It's about who you will become later. Stay quiet. Stay focused. Stay relentless. And when the world finally realizes what you built, you will already be standing on top.